What's up YouTube, Dan Hype here with another Dragon Ball Super video. Today's video is a gameplay video of my Towa deck versus Zuhair's U6 Cabba deck. Now I know we've seen the U6 Cabba deck 2 times now, however I do think it's a very popular deck in the meta and one we will see for quite a little bit. So I think it'd be a good idea for me to show you guys 3 different matchups against the Cabba and how I would approach it. So now, for the future videos, I would like for you guys to leave a comment in the comment section below of what deck that you guys are either struggling with or you guys want to see how to beat or whatever, and I'll take 3 random decks or other decks and play against it and show you my approach for all those 3 different decks versus whatever specific deck that you guys are having trouble with. So hopefully I can teach you guys ways around or ways to kind of improve your game against that specific deck. It's a series I've been thinking about, and I think it would be a really good idea. So yeah, again, leave a comment in the comment section below for the next series you guys want to see, and I'll pick 3 decks and I'll play against that specific deck and teach you guys my approach. But for now, let's get into this gameplay. So this version of the Towa that you see me playing is a bit different from the one that you saw me in the last gameplay video where I played Anthony in the finals at our CNE event. This one has the skillless engine in it with the Kidku and the ball and the trunks to search for skillless guys. And I do like this build, although I do think between this build and like the other build, like the Toki build that people call, there are different matchups where one is better than the other. In this matchup, I actually don't like the skillless stuff, but this is game 1, so I have the engine in here. But I do love the Goku and the Dragon Ball. As you saw, I played Goku turn 1. He swung with his 10k. I combo defended with the 10k, and then now I'm going to grab back I should be grabbing back that Dragon Ball before I overwhelm. Yeah, see, so I grab this back. So it's almost like it's an infinite combo, it's not infinite, but like I get to constantly combo against his 10k leader swing with this 5k ball and keep bringing it back as long as he doesn't kill my my Goku, whatever, right? So it's like a free negate almost against his leader swing if he doesn't combo up. So that's a big reason it's really powerful, so you don't really go neg and you don't really lose hand size defending against this, because in my past videos, like and again in this matchup, I'll always say you need to defend the attacks that are easy. Now, not in all matchups. This is just specifically to U6 aggro decks, because they are trying to aggro you real quick, right? And if their leader's swinging for 10k and you're letting that damage go through, that's just like free damage for him every turn and then he starts popping off, and it'll be easier for him to kill you, right? But if you can protect your life without going super neg, like how I'm using this Dragon Ball to defend his leader swings, so then by the time he does try to pop off and try to kill you, you'll have a healthy life, so you don't have to expend so much of your hand to defend, and you can kind of just take some of the damage and whatnot, right? So it's easier right now to defend 10k, but when he starts swinging for like 20s and 30s, obviously, double strikes or crits and stuff like that, obviously those ones, it's a lot harder to defend, and you don't want to defend those, so then that's when you start taking the points of damage. So as you can see, the Goku and the Dragon Ball, the Kidku and the Dragon Ball here is just a great way to defend against the leader, and that's like the biggest part of the engine. I used to just play with just that engine, and then the black skillless card came out, so I started playing a little bit with that. I do like the black skillless against like Shenjita and stuff like that, because you kind of want to go a little bit more wider, keep aggroing, get more attacks off. But in this matchup, as you can see, I'm not attacking with anything because I want to delay the game a little bit. I want to get to turns 4 and 5, right? If I start aggroing him now and he gets to play with a bunch of more energy and awaken, untap 2, and do all that kind of stuff, that's when it gets a little bit more dicey for me, because it's like, sure, he only has, let's say, 3 energy next turn, but he'll actually have access to 5 energy if I were to have awakened him, right? And on 5 energy, these Cabba decks can do quite a bit when they can if they can swing, untap 2, and then keep doing all that kind of stuff, or awaken and then untap 2. So I do want to delay the game so I can take my turn 4s and 5s, so once I start dropping my mirror bombs, it'll be a lot easier for me to defend a lot of his stuff. So there you saw I defended his Cabba with the ball, and now I guess I didn't have a hand. My hand wasn't combo good, I guess, whatever you want to call it, when he swung with the 14k. Normally I probably would have defended that to not go to 7, but I'm assuming my hand, I didn't want to combo anything in my hand, so I just let that one go through, because sometimes your hand is just too specific, like it's just very good and you just don't want to lose any specific cards in that situation, so you just let it go. Now, as a Towa player, you can imagine having 2 Vegeta time regulators out by turn 3 is probably the most optimal thing ever, and it's like the greatest feeling. And honestly, once you have these 2 time regulators out, and especially if they can stick on board for a turn or two, it's almost lights out. It's very hard for any deck to kind of do anything. So yeah, so I swing here and I combo up only because I need to get 4 in the drop, because that's another thing you need to worry about, is because you're constantly taking these things from the drop, the ball back, your overarm count is a bit different, right? And this is something you really need to pay attention to, because I mess up a little bit with 2, because you need to have 10, right, to do your the mirror play, and then 10 black, and then you also need 10 to awaken and stuff like that. And obviously with these time regulators, putting stuff back constantly, and then taking that ball out of your thingy constantly, it's hard to get to 10 sometimes. And as you can see, I put 2 back. Now time regulator says you can choose up to 2 to put back. Now I put 1 back from each of them. So I triggered the first one, put 1 card, triggered the other one, put 1 card, right? So that's why you saw me put 2 cards on the bottom, 1 for each time regulator, so I can draw 2. Whereas I could go up to a maximum of 4 there. But yeah, there I chose to go 1 and 1 because I need these cards in my warp. I need to get to 10, right? And if I keep putting 4 back every turn, I'm never going to hit that 10. And I won't be able to awaken, which is very scary, and I won't be able to play the 5 drop Mira. So you do need to keep count on what your overall count looks like. That is very important. And as you saw, I have a Champa in there, which is a red one, which is every once in a while you get unlucky and mill it in there. It's the only non-black card, because all Mira's stuff they have to have 10 black. So he doesn't. So that Champa is another card that doesn't count, right? So now I'm even further away from getting off my actual like having 10 in warp play. So that's another thing you need to consider. And I know not a lot of people play any other cards for that reason, but I think playing the 1 Champa is just so worth it, because it's won me plenty of games. There you saw me do the Kai on his 1 drop there. Now that's something you could wait to do. Like you don't need to do it there, because I'm afraid that thing is going to attack. I was just afraid, and like during his turn, he can do a lot of things to tap your energy. The other thing I could have done is just when he swung with his Cabba, maybe just negate, because if he decides to do the combo evolve thing, he'll tap something down. But no matter what he does, like if he tries to tap something, like if he tries to tap my energy down, I'll always get a chance to play that Kai. But I figured I just wanted that Kai out now, so that I can at least it already did what it wanted me to do, like to draw a card, and then I can just combo it off the board now. Opposed to if he put me in a situation where I had maybe have to combo it out of my hand or something like that, which would have been bad. So I didn't need to play it there, but I figured there's outside of saving my negate, there's no difference. But maybe I should have just saved my energy and negated his leader swing or something like that. But in hindsight is what's that saying? Hindsight is 20/20. So it's not a big deal. At least I don't think it is right now. I don't remember how this turn plays out. But I usually just try to tap out. Actually, that's another thing. I tapped out my energy, so now when his leader swings, he swings for 20. But no matter what, he'll always find a way to tap your energy. It's very hard to stay, unless you keep all of your energy up. It's very hard to stay untapped. It's hard to stay have any energy untapped. So as you can see there, he swung with his leader, and I comboed 2 cards on board that were on board, and then the ball in my hand that I can just grab back, right? So I didn't really lose too much, and it was a 20k swing, which some people might have just taken that, which I can see the argument for, but having 7 life again, and before it starts popping off, I'm telling you guys, is very important, especially if I can guard this, because if I can guard a 20k efficiently, I will. And I lost 2 cards on board that had already done their thing, like his card and that Kai, and then the ball, which I can just grab back now. So it wasn't so bad. Now the ultimate play here, oh my god. So obviously I can just mirror chain here, but he has 2 up. He saved the 2 up because he's afraid of the mirror chain. He wants to Champa the Trickster it, and because he wants to do that, I could just not play mirror this turn, and if I had a Black Masayan, play that and wipe his board. And once you do something like that, he would have lost 3 of those 1 drops Khalifas already, and I would be sitting freaking pretty. Him doing something like this is very dangerous, especially because I play that Masayan. He's kind of just banking that I don't have the Black Masayan. or sorry, I don't know if it's called Black Max Saiyan, but it's the Max Saiyan that kills up to 5 and under, 5 cost and under, and so I can kill like I can kill his whole board there if I had that, and that would be like probably the perfect turn right now, because I know he's trying to save that up for the Chopper Trickster, but alas, I did not have it, and I also forgot to grab back my ball for whatever reason. So now I just, I'll just mitigate some of his damage. I'll just steal something from him, so he can't do these evolves. Now I'm trying to determine what's better. What am I more scared of? 2 double strikers, a double strike and a crit, or him having access to the union, to morph these guys together, to fusion these guys together. And then I think I decided that I was afraid of 2 double strikers, because that's a lot more pressure than the crits. I don't really mind crits. Double strike is a lot of pressure, and stuff like that. So now again, you see, you have to make sure you have to count your 10, and not include the Champa in that 10. So I'm pretty sure I just put 1 and 1 back, because I don't even think I'm at. Am I at 10? I don't remember. Actually, I must be, because I think I'm pretty sure I do the mirror chain this turn. But yeah, I do this. Put those on the bottom. 1 and 1, and then draw 2. Yeah, so, but now I have honestly, if I had the Mass in there, that would have been probably the best play to do. So now that I'm not, now I have 2 lines of play now. I can do the Mirror Chain if I had the 10, I don't remember. Or I can just pass, because I know his 2 for his turn, he's either going to Chomp with the Trickster, or he's going to do the Kefla, swing, tap an energy, and get Chomp of Vados out and start his engine going, right? And see, I was about to swing with my leader, which I know you shouldn't swing with your leader here. Only reason I was thinking about doing that is because his leader has that ability. If I swing with my leader when I'm tapped out, then I don't get it taps 2 of my energy, whatever. Or sorry, 2 of my energy can't untap. So that's the only reason I was thinking maybe I should attack with this. But then I'm like, wait, why would I ever want to attack with this? Because you would never want to attack with this, especially if you decided to do the Kefla into Chomp of Vados and tap energy. So I couldn't do the Mirror Chain. So I just screw it. I go straight into the Mirror Chain. He gets his 5k boost because I'm tapped out, and then I say screw it. I'll just do the evolve. Now the other and then I comboed away the Towa, because I knew I wasn't going to attack with it, and then this is kind of like another thing in the drop for me to get my for my next overwhelm, because it's hard sometimes to get more, a 5 overwhelm going, because we're only doing 3 a turn or so. But yeah, he does do Chomp with his Trickster, and that's such a great counter to Mira, because he gets around my deflect, and then so he warps 3 and then draws 2. 1 because he tapped one of my guys, because he tapped something on my turn, so his leader ability draws, and then Chomp with the Trickster draws if he taps something on, if he does it on his opponent's turn. So it's like warp 3, draw 2, gets a body on board. So it's actually, Chomp with Trickster is a pretty good counter to the Mirror Chain, and then I just pass. Because he's at 20k, I could swing with my Vegetas, but again, they're weaker, and then maybe I just need them for defense if he's somehow able to push, and I can just they're extra 5k combos I can use. But yeah, so for now we just sit back, because once we get to this point, especially with 2 regulators out, I can, and then if each turn I can keep mirror chaining. It's not very few decks can really withstand somebody going 5-drop mirror, 5-drop mirror, 2-3 turns in a row. And right now, so you see, I'm tapped out, and I don't mind being tapped out, because honestly, when it's your opponent's turn and you have like 1 or 2 energy, you can almost 100% be positive that he's going to tap all of your energy. So I figured I just use as much, so I might as well just stay like this, and that's why I don't awaken with my leader. It's very rare that I awaken with Towa. I stay unawakened with Towa for probably like 90% of the game, because the other side isn't really that good. The other side, I only ever awaken when I'm in fear of dying and I need to God Strike something, or or the game's gonna be done soon and I might as well flip and get my energy draw card. But I would much rather just stay on this 10k base side the whole game, because I have to look at top 5, draw my mirror pieces, get my overall engine going, and all that kind of stuff. So it's really nice being able to stay like this. And that's what I'm saying, defend your life early, because if he forced me to awaken a lot earlier, I'd be in a bad spot, because she doesn't draw on the other side, and how many times do I really need to God strike something, right, with her ability to negate a skill. So yeah, I only ever flip when I'm in super danger, or I'm just gonna win soon anyways, and I might as well flip. So as you can see now, he just built a pretty good board. So he's gonna start getting a lot of his evolves off, and this is what I was talking about. When now he needs to get his engine going, right? He needs Chomp of Autos out. He needs to start doing those evolve things. So now when he swings, he needs to like essentially over combo, right? Because how often does somebody swing with, let's say, I'm assuming he's gonna swing with his Chomp here, swing with a 15k, and then combo 5k, and combo 2 things to get his arrival out, and 25k to my 10k single strike. How often does somebody ever do something like this, right? It's very rare that this is an occasion, but this deck needs to do stuff like this to get their engine going. See, so he just comboed 2 pieces off his board. That's a 25k to get Chomp of Autos out, and boom. Now this is a 25k single strike. And I'm like, okay, that's pretty easy to take, right? Whereas if I was taking his 10ks earlier, and I was at 4 life, let's say right now, and he did that, now I have to defend those attacks, right? Like, and then pitch 2-3 cards, however many cards, out of my hand. And if I don't have super combos, I'm gonna start, and I only have 5ks, I start losing a lot of cards out of my hand, right? Just to defend, because I'm at 4 life and I don't want to go any. Because once you're at 4 life, the game really starts to go, right? Because the game's gonna end in the next 2-3 turns once you're that low. But because I was keeping myself healthy throughout the early stages of the game, so now when he's over comboing, I can just effectively take these. So now this one's a 30k swing with his leader, and now another combo evolve, right? So another, like, now I don't remember, because like this is my train of thought. He's gonna swing this, evolve, bounce something, whatever, then swing with the crit, evolve, and keep going, right? And I was like, you know what, I'll just take this because it's free. And now I've seen other people do this too, where they'll swing with leader and then they'll combo both Kale and the Khalifa out to get both effects off at the same time, and that's like a 40k single strike. Okay, and like they just like neg super hard, but the way Zuhair's doing it is probably the correct way. See, one after the other. So he's swinging with multiple 30ks, hard attacks. Now this one, I believe I'm at 5 life right now, right? So now this one goes through, he crits me. Then I'm like, oh crap, I get critted, and then I'm at 4. Then he swings a double strike, and if he combos up, he could put me to 2 and put me in pretty dangerous spot. So I decide to go, because I don't want to lose too much to stop this 30k whatever, right? But I do need to not go to 2, because if I go to 2 life, I'm basically saying the game's gonna end very soon, and I don't know how fast I can kill him. So I'm thinking, crap, I need to combo this, so I go to 4 and drop, then take the crit, so I go to 5 and drop, right? And then now when he swings this double strike, I'm able to power burst and go to 3, because 3 is a lot better than 2. So that was my train of thought there, whether it's right or not. But so I do not want to go to 2, because once I go to 2, I'm in kill range of the double strikers, and I just kind of basically say the game is sped up. Now, and he still has he still has 2 more attackers out. I'm at 4 life, and I get to power burst one of his guys, and not neg so much to grab another card. So I figured I needed that double strike. Plus, I don't know what else he can do in his hand. Maybe he goes sensitive. And actually, him tapping the regulator down and then swinging into it, it's actually pretty nice, because time regulator, he's such a high priority target that when it's ever tapped, it's like a deadly defender. You know what I mean? They just like come at it because they want it off the board. And as you can see, I just comboed his 5k off there, and then I power bursted that, grab this. So I go to 3, so I don't have to go to 2, and then I didn't expect this part. I didn't expect him to do that, but as you can see, so it's like, but imagine he didn't swing at my time regulator there, and he swung with his double strike, and then did what he did, and then I just took the double strike down to 2, and then he swung with his Chomp of Autos, brought me down to 1, and I thought he couldn't do anything else, and then he played this big drop and killed me. that I was afraid of things like that. So that's why I was like, because I don't want to go down to 2 and then 1 then 0, right? Obviously, so I power burst to go to 3 because I know he can't push any further, like super hard like that. And then there, I just take this one down to 2. Because obviously I don't want to defend against this. Now, I think he probably should have just swung at my time regulator there instead of giving me another card. Although him going to 2, me going to 2 is kind of okay because, well, it's obviously bad because the game's sped up quite a bit. But it's also, he doesn't have a lot of double strikers in his deck, right? He only had, because he's already lost, at least we've seen like 3 evolved targets. Or I guess he does have the 2 drops too that he could probably go on top of. But as you can see there, I forgot to burst 3 and then look at top 5. So then I just took 3 cards from the top and then threw them down and then looked at top 5. So I grabbed this. But yeah, he shouldn't have given me an extra card, but he did. Now this card is pretty tricky. I've walked into this one and lost before because I forgot it. I don't know why. This 7-drop he has out here is like when during battle when I swing he can do like his Aegis ability to tap like 4 things or something like that. It's ridiculous. And I remember that screwed me over one time. So I'm definitely not going to fall into that trap. But he still has 4 life. He has his Chomp of Vados out, which is very hard to get rid of. So I had to be pretty careful of how to... He is tapped out, which is good. Although, like I said, after my first swing, when he does the Aegis, he's able to tap, like, however many of my energy, I can't remember exactly, sorry, and then restand, like, 2 of his energy. And that's a big deal. Which, again, I kind of forgot, which... There's a lot of ways to play that. See, but now that I have a lot of things in my drop, I can now safely put back 4 and then draw 2 with the 2 time regulators. Just put back high priority, like things that you kind of want to draw back into. I usually just put mirrors back in there because that's something that you can look at top 5 and hit and not whiff. And that's another thing with the Goku too. If I ever put like super combos back on the bottom, I can use Goku to search my deck, even if there's no ball in there, just so I can shuffle my deck and shuffle those super combos back into my deck instead of just being at the bottom. And that's why I love the Kid Goku in this deck. Now I'm trying to think, when can I do this? It's like, because it's during combat basically on his defensive step that he can kind of activate this stuff. And I don't want him to tap me out before that, so I can't swing with anything yet. So I have to play my Mira. Now I'm debating if I should swing or just go straight into the combo. Now, I should, unfortunately... So I always swing with this thing because I'm pretty greedy. But if you think about it, if I swing and he does the whole Aegis untap, and then he has Chomp the Trickster, and then rests my 7-drop Mirror, that's pretty crappy, right? Because I know he's going to use it now to rest my stuff. But so maybe I should have just went straight up into the chain, so he couldn't rest it and then and swing. But then I'd lose out on one of these attacks. But then I'd lose out on the There's a lot of thinking involved in this. So and then also I was about to combo that Mirror to tap that energy, which I probably should have. Only reason I didn't because I didn't want to be tapped out and give his leader a 5k boost. But he does his thing anyways, I'm pretty sure, and taps me out here. So I should have just combo that card away, so at least I use my energy, because I'm pretty sure, I don't remember, I'm almost pretty sure he uses his Aegis ability here to tap me out and then untap 2. Yeah, so he uses the Aegis ability, boom boom and boom, so I get tapped and gets 2, and now I'm like, oh crap, now he can play Chomp and Trickster on my guy anyways, and that sucks. You know what I mean? Especially if he defends us and Chomp and Tricksters me, it's like, oh god, now I'm in a pretty bad spot, right? But he doesn't have that many cards in hands, and I'm pretty sure I have a decent hand size because of those time regulators. Like I said, just building up a bunch of advantage, and like now he's a Sensu-B, and I was like, oh man, did I just mess up? And I was pretty afraid that I messed up here. So as you can see, these little small misplays, like even though I was ahead all game, this deck's so powerful that one mistake could really cost me the game. But he still has to combo quite a bit here because I'm at what, 30? I hit 35. He's a 25k boost because of his Sensu being in a leader ability, so he's 35-40. There you go. So now he defends that. He lost a lot of cards in his hand. So now I'm thinking, okay, he doesn't have that many cards in hand. I'm pretty safe, right? So here I decide to awaken, untap and draw. because I did see him pitch one of those cards, the one that taps my energy. So I was like, what are the odds he has another one? So I do that, so I can do this to give him crit, so he can swing. Not sure exactly why I did this, but I'm just trying to get him down to oh, I think I'm trying to make him waste. I'm hoping that he'll throw away the chomp of the trickster, right? I'm trying to make him get rid of that, so he can't do it. So then I'm like, maybe I'll just beat him down with these things, force him to get rid of it or something like that. But yeah, that was pretty bad for me, because again, I'm tapped out. I definitely played that wrong. So I go 25 single, draw, and he takes it. And then I really should have just warped his whole. I should have just done the go up the chain. But maybe I should have just gone up the chain and started swinging at his board. All right, maybe that could have been the play. But I do here, and then he doesn't Champa the trickster me, and I was like, oh, thank God. I was worried for nothing. So then he just loses his hand, and then once that's happened, it's lights out. See, then this is where I could have just saved my crit guy and then crit him, and then because now he gets this one random card which could potentially beat me, and then not beat me, but maybe it's a negate or something, and then you can swing lead or swing with the mirror. End game. So that's game 1 of our series here. We're about to get into game 2. But yeah, once you get those Vegetas out and they can stay on board, they just slowly start building an advantage. And as you saw, I awakened them with my mirror at the end because for the sake of awakening. Although I timed a lot of that pretty badly with the energy usage. I definitely could have got more out of my energy, both those things, and he was able to tap out two of my things, which is pretty bad for me. But we still got there because Towa's still very powerful. And now we're going on to game 2. He went first. Plays his dual color card and pass. Now for me, so going game 2 is usually it's pretty rough, and usually when we play each other, it does go to game 3s. Like he beats me going first, I beat him going first, and that's usually the trade how we get. Now I did side in some cards. I took out the skillless engine, which I don't even think you guys even saw much of them in that last game, but the skillless card and the trunks to find the skillless guy, and I switched out things like I put in this Mastian to help against his planet salad, or the 2-drop that brings up another guy, and things like that. I brought in this. I think I put in a Kami in there. I put more Black Mass Sands and Foos in my deck. Just things to help me warp his board because they can't be KO'd, and like the 1-drops, and then just help to relieve pressure, right? So I try to get more of those type of overwhelm guys to kind of slow down his aggression, and then I'm hoping this Black Massane slows down his aggression as well, so he can't like play something and chain into something else without going neg. So now he's sitting at 10, and see this one's kind of rough, right? Because this Black Massane doesn't really net me a card when you play him. If that was Goku and I searched the ball and I can combo the ball, that would have been nice. But I don't think I had the ball. I don't think I had the Kid Ku, so obviously I'll just play this. And as you can see, I ditched that 5-drop mirror to defend his 10k, which is pretty neg, but in the long run, I believe it's worth it because you do need to stay healthy. And I believe I had another one in my hand anyways. Yeah, I had one more in my hand in there anyways. And I also don't like to overwhelm. I know a lot of people overwhelm on that turn 1. They burst 3 overwhelm right away. I usually don't do that because I like to have more in my if he played something that turn, I would be able to steal it with Towa, right? But he didn't, so whatever. But if he played something, if I overwhelmed turn 1 and then turn 2 I did my leader ability, went to 3, I wouldn't have. Actually, I guess I comboed a card away, so I would have had the 4 to steal anyways. But you know what I mean. In those situations, sometimes you just need the extra overwhelm cards in your drop to do that kind of stuff. But he didn't play anything anyway, so it didn't really matter. And then I ended up playing this guy anyway, so again, it didn't really matter. But this Trunks is actually so good. Holy crap! Especially when you have the mirror in your hand, because it's like the 7-drop, because you need it back in your deck, and time regulator out there. Oh baby, it feels so good. It's like you play him, draw 2, warp 1, and then you warp the 7-drop, and then when you warp the 7-drop, you can put that back in the bottom of your deck with time regulator, and it's literally like the perfect card for this deck. I was a fool for not playing it. So seeing him play that Champa Vados as an energy on this turn was actually pretty sweet, because now on his turn 3 he only gets to play with 2 energy. So I'm like, okay, there can't be too much pressure coming from him. I would hope, at least, especially with my Black Massane out there. So he does this to tap this down, and because and then he took a life, and then he drew. But then Champa only lets you draw when you do it on your opponent's turn. So I'm like, whoa, buddy. So you need to stay vigilant. Some of these players, they play super quick and they start doing this, that, and kind of get you all confused. But if you're paying attention and you know the cards and you know some of the rules, you can catch things like that real quick. However, it's not easy. A lot of times things happen a little too fast, and people forget things, and then mistakes happen. But as long as you're vigilant and paying attention, you'll be okay. Now, yeah. So and again, I know this is confusion. People think the Black Massane is there to stop like counterplay cards, but it doesn't actually, because counterplay is a keyword skill. I was using it for Planet Salad and other things, not for his Chomp of the Tricks or anything like that. Yeah. So right now we're just doing our standard stuff. Turn 3. Obviously, ideal situation here, we play another Vegeta time regulator in Overwhelm, but I don't think I have another one. I swear, sometimes I get really unlucky and not draw them, and other times I draw them like crazy. It's pretty nice. It'd just be nice to draw 1 every game. If you can just get 1 out there and it sticks, it makes the world of difference. You don't even need the Vegeta half the time to beat some of these decks. It's just nice. So as you see, I found the ball. But you do. This is something I forget to do. You always look through your deck at least once. Don't take your time with it, because you can't keep looking through your deck like that. But just make sure you spot the pieces you need to spot. Like, how many 7-drop mirrors are left in my deck? Is the other ball there? And things like that. Yeah, so I do this. It feels nice. Throw things back in my deck and then draw a card. Yeah, time regulator definitely, like. I always say, like, so you don't need time regulator. You don't need time regulator to play this deck. Honestly, I think you're still like 60-40 versus like a lot of the decks. But when you put him in, it makes your game like 90. I don't know, not 90-10. It's probably a bit extreme, but it just makes your life a lot easier. Or it turns like 50-50 matchups into like 60-40s and things like that. He's just a really powerful card, and that's why he's so expensive, especially because it's kind of hard to get him. Again, I love these Kais too. They're so good. Obviously doesn't do anything crazy against this, but it just stops any 2-drop shenanigan attacks that he has whenever he puts them out to boost. And he gets like 14k swings. It doesn't really do much crazy against his deck or anything like that, but it's just nice to be able to counterplay, draw a card, and then use it as combo power. Or when he plays the Evolve to tap my energy, I can just be like, you know what, screw that. I'm going to use my energy to play my Kai, draw a card, so you get like the maximum. So he doesn't get to like tap you out kind of thingy, and you get kind of like really good benefits from it. But yeah, so I have a pretty good defense. I have the Goku grabbing my balls back, and then another cantrip 5k. I feel like I'm pretty safe here. But yeah, this is a play that I don't see. I don't know how often he gets it, because I don't know how much he plays in his deck. But this thing it's so good. Being able to put pressure on Towa early. Imagine he got that off on like turn 2, like, because like sometimes he does, and I can't defend this on turn 2 without going super neg. So then after those 2 swings, and if I don't defend his leader swing, and then if I don't remove this, he can be in such a good spot where I'm at like 4 or 5 life already by like turn 2, 3, turn 2, 3, and that's when things start getting really dicey. That's why I keep reiterating, always defend the easy shots, and then take the hard ones when you have to. So just like that, he gets to do. See, and this is what I'm afraid of him doing earlier in the game, where I haven't gotten enough energy. Because if I was aggroing him and awakened him, he could do what he's doing right now a lot earlier, where he gets to play the 1-drop, or play a 2-drop into a 1-drop, and then Union Evolve, then Awaken, then play another 1-drop into a 2, you know what I mean? And you can just keep doing stuff and piling it on. And you can do that when he has if you let him Awaken earlier, right? And then he can put this pressure on like a few turns earlier. But right now, because I've delayed it a little bit, I have a healthy life. I'm at 3 energy going into my 4 energy. I'm hoping that this is enough to kind of withstand whatever he's trying to do here. Because yeah, I now have enough turns to get a healthy hand going, establish a little bit of a board, have an energies, and hopefully survive. So yeah, he's doing the combo evolve to tap that energy. I'm pretty sure I defend this one 30. So this is what, a 30k single strike. I can't remember if I'm at 6 or 7. But I think I remember taking this because I know, so I can defend this, but it's going to be harder for me to defend, you know, 2 34k single strikes, and then he gets a double striker, and then if he evolves into the crit kale, you know, and have to defend those later will be a little bit harder. So I figured I might as well just defend this while he's letting it be a somewhat low number, and then go after. And then just take the bigger ones if there are any that could put me in some danger. And like I said, this Vegeta is like a deadly defender. Like, sure, he tapped it, which is probably good, but he has to, you know, I would assume he's gonna attack into it, and obviously I want the Vegeta, but if it relieves pressure off me, then it's fine, because he already kind of got his worth on turns 2 and 3. Yeah, see, so that's like a negate there, a block, and that's what I love about Deadly Defender. You know, they leave him out there, he's great. If they get to attack him, he's like, oh, it's a free negate at least. And then, because once turn 4s and 5s hits, you're really just worried about your mirror chain. So you know, so he's swinging the double strike. Now I'm pretty sure I'm at 6. No, I took 2 there. I was at 7. I only took 1 damage up to that point. And then he swung again to put me to 4. And let's see, so that's not so bad, right? I think he said he wanted to. I think he comboed that card. Oh, he comboed that card because I think he's afraid of a Kami or something. I don't remember, but he comboed that card off that attack, which I don't think I don't know, it was kind of like whatever. It's like, sure, I could Kami here, but I'm pretty sure I'll just mirror here. But again, it's debatable. And then, so he has his 2 energy up for his chomp of the trickster stuff, which is annoying, but it's not so bad. So yeah, now 4 life, I have a good amount of cards. He does have a board established. Looks like I whiffed, which is pretty bad. But yeah, as you can see, so I am at 4 life. So now when you're at 4 life, I'm telling you, this is where the game gets, you know, okay, it's getting pretty close to dicey, where you either lose or you win, or things start to shift. And if I was in this situation earlier, I would be not a good spot. But because I'm in the situation now, where I have a lot of energy, a lot of cards, I feel comfortable defending. Oh, so it looks like I decided to go this instead of the mirror, actually. Oh, I think I forgot to grab my ball back, too. I can't remember. For some reason, I always forget it. That's not, I need to just like grab it at the beginning of my turn every time. So now I'm just like, you know what, let's just try to clear his board of things that I'm scared of. Now, obviously, I get that 1 drop and one of these 4 drops. Now, so I chose the double striker, because at first I was afraid of the double striker. And I was like, you know what, screw this double striker, let's just get rid of this dual attacker. I probably should have just got rid of the double striker, to be honest. But something swinging twice at me, like, I was thinking if it swings twice, that's like 15k, like 20k or 1919 or whatever, right? And I have to throw like 2 5Ks away for that. Whereas this double striker, I can just like negate and then just like not lose any cards, because I can power burst, grab another card back. So I'm like, maybe I won't go so neg. Whereas I would go a little bit neg if I had to defend 2 19k attacks, because I'm going to, right? I'm not going to let those go through. because to go to like what 3 life and then whatever, I'm gonna stay as healthy as I can, and then I can just negate this double striker here. So now here I swing with this and go to 25, and he snap takes it. When I first swung with this, I was like, maybe I shouldn't swing with this, because I was afraid he was going to do that whole Kefla, tap my energy, get his Chomp of Vados out play. And I was like, ugh, that's actually kind of, I was scared for that. But then I'm like, but then he didn't do it. I was like, because I think he wanted to save his energy for Chomp of the Trickster. If I awakened and played Mirror or something like that. But then because he just snap took that, I'm like, that's interesting. I guess he's really hoping for the Chomp of the Trickster play on my Mirror, which I think he assumes I'm going to do, and he just snap takes a 2, which I thought was very strange. So now I'm thinking, okay, well, because I did have the Mirror Chain on my deck, because that could have been a plan, but I don't think I was going to do that. I was just going to save my energy and pass. But then I did swing with that, and then when he just, like I said, snap took the 2, I was very shocked. So then I'm like, you know what? Maybe, just maybe, because he doesn't have that stuff out yet, I can do this. Swing. Because I'm pretty sure I have more cards than him, but I'm pretty sure he has more 10k cards than me, because his deck has a lot of the 10ks, because most of them are free when he gets to play them anyways. But, like I said, this card here is very powerful, so I awaken, draw a card, get as much information as I can. So I'm 15k. And then boom. A double strike Champa, or the Kai at least. Now I'm like, maybe this will, so I'm at 15, 25, 35, 45, 55, 65. See, I had it there, right? I could have done it. 75, 75, 85, 90. So I'm at 90 double strike. See, now now he doesn't have to Chomp at the Trickster, so he's just going to do this play instead, and then play out his Chomp of Vados, which I kind of, because he was either going to do that or Chomp at the Trickster, and then he didn't have it, and then he just lost. So yeah, that's the game, you guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Again, leave a comment section below what you want to see next, and I'll see you guys next time.